MG as a car brand in the UK has gone from strength to strength, going from a few thousand sales to over 100,000 sales within a few short years. The HS is the model which has had the most sales this year. It's become the 8th best-selling car out of all cars in the UK. So this new MG HS has got some really big boots to fill. Now this is an entirely new vehicle. This bears no resemblance to the outgoing model. It's built on a completely new floor plan, completely new body. It's around 45mm longer, it's around 14mm wider, it's slightly lower. And that means that the road holding doesn't mean it doesn't roll around corners as much, and it should mean a better ride for passengers as well, and more interior space. In terms of the front of this car, I think it looks fantastic. We've got these LED lights connected up by a silver strip and black gloss down here that mirrors a little bit the look that we're getting on the new MG4. This large, wide, great gaping grille and this black splitter down here gives it a really sporty edge. And I think actually it's a really good looking car. These creases that follow through the bodyline all the way up. And we've got these sort of jutting out bits here which serve absolutely no purpose. They look as if they ought to have cameras in them, but they don't. It's literally just a styling thing, but it looks quite cool, quite sporty. This is the trophy trim. We've got brushed aluminium look roof bars on the top here, which look very similar to ones you used to get on Audi Quattro estates and Avance. We've got this chrome window trim, cameras all around on this model, so it's got 360-degree cameras. This gloss plastic trim over the wheels here, 19-inch wheels, 225/55 R19, Bridgestone tyres, got keyless entry, dark tinted privacy glass at the back. We've got this carbon fibre trim which runs all the way along the back here and then continues around the rear bumper as well. Talking at the back of the car, quite accomplished I think. We've got these rear lights here, these LED lights. These red segments here were inspired apparently by the Shard in London. We've got this jutting out rear spoiler. We've got these chrome, look like exhaust trims. They're not, they're actually capped with plastic inside. The exhaust actually is hidden under the rear bumper. But overall I think it looks quite a chunky, meaty, not totally dissimilar to the back of a Tesla Model Y, but with perhaps a little bit more detail to it. And because we've got this bigger, longer wheelbase and slightly bigger boot, we've actually got an extra 44 litres of boot space. So it's now quite a useful sized boot. Goes back a long way. And of course it's a split fold 60/40 rear seat, so it makes it a lot more practical as well. So overall I think MG's done a really good job with the external refresh of this car. It looks like quite a stylish thing and you'd be pleased to have it on your driveway. But how practical is it for a family? Well, let's take a quick look in the back. So in the back of the MG HS, it's actually really spacious. This seat is as far back as it will go. It's slid all the way back to the rails, and I've got a good 2-3 inches of leg room, knee room at least, and my feet can go under the seat in front even though it's not in the high position. It's really quite comfortable. The seats are supportive. They've got a nice bit of bolstering around the sides. We've got an armrest in the middle here with a couple of cup holders. Actually, if you want to, there's a really flat floor here, so if I sit in the middle, there's enough room for me as well. I'm 5'11", just to give you an idea. So yeah, plenty of room here for 3 adults across the back. If you're in your outer seats, they have also got ISOFIX on both of the outer seats. You've got 3 headrests across the back which are height adjustable, proper 3-point belts obviously. We've got some LED lights which are built into the grab handles up here, so that gives a good visibility when you're plugging in infants into the back. We've got vents in the middle here. You've got a couple of USB-A ports in the back of the centre console as well, so rear passengers can charge the devices if you're on longer road trips and things. I quite like this orange stitching we've got going around. Now it's not leather, it's vegan friendly product that's a leather look product, but it feels great. This perforated section in the middle is really nice and soft. The outer parts are comfortable but also easy to wipe clean if you've got kids, easy to vacuum up all the crumbs and everything like that. It feels really nice in the back here. Let's take a look in the front and see how it is for the driver and passenger. So the driving seat of the MG HS is quite a nice place to sit. We've got electrically adjustable seats, got a seat bolstering adjustment we can make. We can move it up, down, in and out as well. You can get yourself comfortable with the wheel as well because this moves both up and down and in and out. So we've got rake and reach adjustment on there as well. The first thing you notice is these 2 big screens. We've got 2 12.3 inch, very high definition screens, which are really clear and easy to see. They've got different layouts, which we can show you in a second, how you change this display. So you can have it overlaid with a map, or you can have it just a simple device with the speed on there if you want. If you don't want all this news on here, you can turn this screen off and just have the clock on there. An interesting thing about this display here is actually got privacy tint on it. So it's only visible for the driver's seat. If you sit in the passenger seat, you can't see it. So if your front seat passenger likes to nag you about driving too fast and whatever. Don't worry, they can't actually see your speed at all. So it's got a lot of technology on this car. So let's start talking about some of that. So the steering wheel looks very similar to the one we find on the MG4. So it's got some multifunction buttons with a couple of favourite buttons, which are the star icons, which you can program in here. We've got a button here which has got 2 squares, and you press that, and then that allows you to just cycle through trip menus and things. Climate control, which is dual zone for the driving passenger side. We've got some shortcut buttons, things like demisting the windscreen. The screen layout, which is, it's all new software on this. It's the same as what we're seeing on the MG4 and the ZS, but it's updated. There's a more responsive screen. If you've got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, if you plug them in with the USB cable to this left-hand socket, we've got 2 USBs at the front here and a 12-volt socket as well. 2 cup holders, which is quite reasonably sized there. Probably struggle to get a Stanley Cup in there because of this overhang here though. This is the 7-speed DCT gearbox version, so we've got an automatic shifter up here which feels quite sturdy, electronic parking brake, auto holds the handbrake, and we've also got hill descent control. And then down here we've got a wireless charging pad for your phone, and we've got some storage under here which you can put quite a few things under the armrest there. And again, it's all laid out with this sort of leather style upholstery with the orange stitching continuing through from the back to the front. The same seats with the same perforated leather. It feels really nice. The passenger seat is also electrically adjustable. Being the trophy specification rather than the SE, which is the entry level, the trophy comes with heated front seats, which have got 3 stages of heating on them. We've also got 360-degree cameras rather than just a reversing camera. We also have a power tailgate. We have the wireless phone charger here, which you don't get on the SE. You also have MG iSmart connectivity, so that means you can do things like you can do a health check on the car, you can see the location, see how much fuel is left in the car, that sort of thing. And you also get an 8-speaker audio system rather than the 6 speakers that you get in the SE. This little matchbox size thing stuck on the side, that's actually the facial recognition. That's required for its 5-star NCAP rating that you get on these cars. So that's got a little camera that's looking at your face, making sure that you are paying attention to the road. If you were to pick up your phone, which you shouldn't do obviously, that will then warn you to keep your eyes on the road. It can be a little bit overzealous at times, so you'll probably see when we're out filming later, if I look at the camera, for example, for more than a second, it's going to warn you to look at the road. The reason it does that is basically you should be paying attention to the road, you should be looking ahead anyway. This car is currently available as a petrol 1.5 litre turbo. Plug-in hybrid version was going to be coming within a month or so, so by the end of September we should have a plug-in hybrid, and we'll do a review of that when it comes, because obviously that's one of interest to me personally, as I like everyone to electrify their cars as much as possible. So overall, great place to sit, feels comfortable. The upgrades that MG has brought to this model really make it worthwhile. Let's see how it drives in the petrol version. So what's it like to drive? Well, this is the 7-speed DCT automatic version, and to be honest, it's easy enough to drive. It's been a while since I've driven anything with gears, to be fair, but this seems to change quite smoothly. When you put your foot down, it sets off well, it goes. It's 160-ish horsepower, but it keeps up with traffic absolutely fine. The benefit of the plug-in hybrid, which we're hoping to test in a couple of weeks, is that it's got a lot more power, and obviously it's got an EV mode as well. That electric motor can really help improve your fuel efficiency around town. At the moment though, we're averaging 37 miles per gallon in this, which I think is not bad for a vehicle this size. In actual fact, with the plug-in hybrid, that 75 miles of charge might only cost you sort of £1.60, £1.80. I like the fact that the map is on the driver's display, not just on the left display here, so it's really good actually as a driver, you've got that in front of you. All models of the MG HS, even the entry level, comes with MG Pilot as standard, so that gives you your speed adjusting cruise control with lane keep assist, lane follow, so the full suite of safety features and driver aids, which is good to see, and it's one of the things that contributes to this car getting an excellent safety rating from Euro NCAP. It's quite a high driving position. You do feel as if you're lording it a bit over other cars, so you've got that sort of SUV driving position, which is nice. The Audi Q7 that went past didn't feel any higher than this, so that's good. It's got auto hold, which we're set on now, so if we come to a stop, I can take my foot off the brake and it won't move anywhere. So yeah, it's got all the things that you'd need it to do in a family car. It's a nice thing to drive. I'd prefer the plug-in hybrid personally, but if you don't have anywhere to plug in, this certainly is not a bad shout. So this petrol automatic version gets from 0 to 60 in around 9.5 seconds, which is absolutely fine for keeping up with traffic. When you really hammer it, the engine roars a bit, but it does keep up with traffic fine. The 0 to 60 on the plug-in hybrid is around 7 seconds, which obviously 2.5 seconds faster, so it does feel quite a bit quicker. And obviously it will accelerate without that sort of same noise. So the plug-in hybrid version has got a usable battery capacity of around 20.6 kilowatt hours. Now that is similar to the original Nissan Leaf when it first launched in 2010. And whereas that was a pure electric car, this is obviously becomes a plug-in hybrid. The plug-in hybrid battery means it can drive up to 75 miles on electricity alone. Now, in winter time, if you're putting the heater on, it will still start the engine even if your battery is fully charged, like it did in the old version of the PHEV. And that's because the only way that the plug-in hybrid can create heat in the cabin is by using the engine heat to warm the coolant, etc. So you won't necessarily get the same efficiency in winter as you do in summer. But on, in mild weather, or if you're just using the air conditioning is actually powered by electricity, so that's okay. 75 miles full EV mode does mean that it falls for the 5% benefit in kind tax for company car tax, which means that this car, because it's not got particularly high RRP, so the entry-level entry-level manual 1.5 petrol starts at 24,995. It's 25 grand for, it's quite a big car. That's the sort of price you can pay for something like, well, Fiesta ST was more than that when it was still being sold. The range goes up, so this particular model we're driving today is a 5 or less than £29,000. So that's the Trophy with the automatic gearbox. The plug-in hybrid version is slightly more expensive again, so the top spec Trophy plug-in hybrid is near as damn it £34,000. So it is more expensive, but you could potentially save that in fuel costs over a couple of years if you're filling up for £1.60 for 75 miles instead of a couple of gallons of fuel at, say, £12 a go. It just depends on your usage scenario and whether you can charge the car. If you can't charge the car overnight, every night, I'd say just go for the standard petrol. Although in the start of next year, they are actually launching a hybrid version. So that'll be like the Hybrid Plus system we've seen in the MG3. If you want to watch the video review we did of that, click up here. Overall, I can say about the drive of it, it's very comfortable. It feels relaxed. It's no sports car, but it's not designed to be. It's an SUV. But as a spacious family car, I definitely think it ticks all the right boxes. I think that MG's got a bit of a winner on its hands here. We've got the HS starting at $24,995, the price of most family hatchbacks, but this is a full-size SUV. I think that if you're in the market for a family car, if you're in the market and thinking, oh, maybe I can't afford a brand new car, check this out, 7 years warranty as standard on this car as well. And I say, start price on just $24,995. I definitely think it needs to be on your radar if you're looking at test driving a new car. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please click the like button and let us know what you think of the car in the comments below. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel so you'll see our latest videos when they go live, click up here. If you'd like more information about the MG HS, click here to visit the point on our website. It'll take you all about the car, all the specifications. Click down here to see the video review we did of the MG4 Electric. Perhaps an electric car might be something you'd consider next. And click down here to see the MG HS plug-in hybrid video when it goes live in just a couple of weeks' time.